The human factor in cybersecurity. The human factor has a significant impact on cybersecurity. People are the weakest link in an organization's security chain, both through malicious acts and through unintentional actions. Here are some examples. Using social engineering, attackers can manipulate individuals into disclosing sensitive information or provide access. For example, an attacker might send an email that appears to be from a trusted source, asking the recipient to enter their password or click on a link that leads to a malware-infected website. Phishing attacks can be used to trick individuals into installing malware. For example, an attacker might send an email that appears to be from a legitimate company, asking the recipient to update their account information. Poor security practices can put an organization's security at risk because of weak passwords, leaving confidential information unsecured. Insider threats can come from employees, contractors, or others who have access to an organization's systems and data. Insiders may act maliciously, such as by stealing sensitive information or disrupting systems, or may act inadvertently, such as by falling for a phishing attack or exposing sensitive information. Lack of training, where individuals who are not trained in cybersecurity may be more likely to make mistakes that put an organization at risk. To mitigate the impact of the human factor on cybersecurity, organizations can implement employee training programs that educate employees on the importance of cybersecurity and best practices for keeping systems and data secure. Organizations can also implement technical controls, such as multi-factor authentication and encryption, to reduce the risk of unauthorized access to systems and data. Additionally, organizations can implement policies and procedures that outline acceptable use of systems and data and establish clear guidelines for responding to security incidents. By addressing the human factor in cybersecurity, organizations can reduce risk. At a high level, when managers are looking to prevent attacks, there are really two areas that they can investigate: the human factor and the technical arena. The first one, the human factor, is where organizations need to start because it is most likely the bigger problem area of the two. Not to say that technical challenges are simple, but in many aspects, managers are probably better at dealing with it. The biggest weakness and the most difficult variable to control is the human factor. Not that the technical issues are without challenges, but the more objective nature of technology makes it less chaotic than human nature. How can organizations best deal with the human factor? Implementing human-centered security policies. Cybersecurity teams need to be writing and enforcing security policies that make sense to individuals working in our organizations. Organizations want to put in place something that makes sense to our stakeholders. What is needed is a short, well-written, easy-to-understand security policy that normal individuals can understand and abide by. A long, unintelligible policy would not be usable and will increase risks rather than help control it. Ensure that management is leading by example. The highest level management of the organization must take ownership and be seen taking ownership of cybersecurity, including the CEO, CFO, and the CISO or Chief Information Security Officer, who is the top cybersecurity executive. Have a Chief Information Security Officer with real authority and powers. The CISO must have real power and real influence in the organization, and this must be known and seen. It can't be the same person as your head of information technology, because then you have the fox in charge of guarding the chicken coop. You want to have separate responsibilities here. There is a technical side and a business side to information technology, and this is also very true in cybersecurity. But you don't want to have the technical IT staff in control, at the top level of managing your cybersecurity. Operate a cybersecurity awareness program. This is a continuous education, ongoing, awareness program. You need to put in place a formal process throughout your organization that includes cybersecurity training activities from when individuals first get hired and throughout their whole passage in the organization, as well as when they leave. Do phishing and penetration testing. Phishing tests must be part of an actual program to test your cybersecurity actively and continuously. It's much better to identify a potential weakness and have an opportunity to better train users than to have to deal with the aftermath of an incident. Have a zero-trust mindset. In all information system-related activities, through your business processes or access management and all other related activities, segregation of networks and organization boundaries of your networks need to be guarded. The Zero Trust architecture and mindset is about having gates and border controls in place, not just from a technical point of view, but as a mindset, to become part of the overall IT culture. Make sure that users have minimal privileges. With the Zero Trust mindset, make sure that access privileges are just what individuals need to do their job and nothing more. All the duties must be segregated. You don't want somebody to be able to print checks, sign them and handle your books. Because when you do that, you are creating an opportunity. If individuals to know that they can do it, then they might, if they develop a need which they can somehow rationalize. Continuously increase the organizational cybersecurity maturity and create a culture of security. The organization wants to create and nurture this culture of security in general, including a strong culture of cybersecurity. They want to gradually improve the level of understanding of the value of cybersecurity by all. This is done by raising the level of maturity of all the different stakeholders of the organization in matters of cybersecurity. Thanks for watching. www.leger.ca